Most stalkers hide in shadows. Mine hid behind a crooked smile and called himself my best friend. It all started our very first semester. We ended up being placed randomly as roommates through college. We each had our own room, but shared common spaces. Since our first move-in day, he got really close and opened up about himself to me and everyone else. I guess he thought that we were best friends after that. Every day after that, he pushed my door open without warning and launched into long, pointless talks. I began locking the knob. He'd still rattle it, then knock until I'd answer. If my light was on late, he took that as an invite. Soon, I was wearing headphones, keeping silent, even turning the lights off early just to be left alone. Most weekends, I slept past noon. He would hammer on the door anyway, acting shocked that anyone could be sleeping that late. He acted like my time belonged to him. Now and then, we'd sit in the living room and share a drink. He would loop the same complaints about our friends group for hours, word for word, never changing his mind about anything. I tried to stay upbeat, but the cycle wore me down, so I started hanging out with work friends instead. He dismissed them just as work friends, convinced he only understood me. Right before winter break, I came home exhausted, ready to crash. He was at my door again. I ignored him, but he begged me to go out for a drink, saying he had a rough week and needed someone to talk to. I finally agreed under one condition: a mutual friend must join us. Safety in numbers. I thought we'd hit a quiet pub. Instead, he led us straight into Harper's, a loud midweek club. Within minutes, he was on the dance floor, getting far too close to a stranger, while we stood there, waiting for him to talk. He knew we were watching, yet never stepped back. That's when I realized his sad story plea was just a lie. He just wanted a night out. All evening I kept slipping out for more air. That place was packed. This was not my scene at all. I considered leaving, but didn't want to abandon our friend who had been tricked just like me. After closing time, I confronted him. He showed no regret, said his long-distance girlfriend couldn't meet his needs, so this was fine. The lies kept coming. He'd grab my phone, spot a name in the notification, then open his dating app to brag that he's already been with that person. He pried me details about my personal life. My girlfriend, also a mutual friend, told me that he was staring at her in an unsettling way at a party, and even tried to video chat her at 2 a.m., though they even barely spoke. That was the final straw. Behind that friendly smile was someone convinced my life was his to enter, own, and twist. I've dealt with strange roommates before, but never someone so sure that I existed just for him. These days, I keep the door locked, the lights low, and my circle small. Because sometimes, the scariest thing isn't a stranger outside. It's the friend who never stops knocking. Most monsters don't creep in the dark. They march through the front door in scrubs and a tired smile. I shared a house with 4 girls during my last term of college. 2 were buried in their final year for nursing school. The rest of us were wrapping up other degrees. At first, we all got along, until one nursing student flipped a switch. Her clinical shifts ran 12 hours, 3 or 4 days a week, and she talked about nothing else. If anyone hinted that long shifts were normal for nurses, she'd snap. One night, I overheard her mom on the phone, telling her to stop whining. She'd roll in around 7:30 p.m., drop her bag, and started grumbling that the house was too loud, too messy, too everything. "Some of us have real jobs," she'd say, staring straight at me. The three of us who had already graduated were working day jobs while waiting on grad school letters. She'd call us lazy because we weren't in class anymore. One evening, she stepped inside, scanned the spotless kitchen, and snared, "Wow, it's actually clean tonight." The sink was empty, counters wiped, but she still acted like she'd caught us in some sin. Her mood filled every room, so when her car pulled up, we scattered to our rooms and locked the doors. Even on nights without a shift, she stomped around, slamming cabinets just to remind us she was home. Our other nursing roommate tried a calm talk behind closed doors. Nothing changed. Apologies? Never. Weeks passed like this, each night thicker than the last. Then came the night she moved out. She brought a friend over and blasted music until nearly sunrise. Twice I patted down the hall and asked them to keep it down. Twice they laughed it off. I had work in the morning, but they didn't care. For months she scolded us for minor noises. Now she was the one shaking the walls. When dawn finally bled through the blinds, I'd never felt so relieved to see boxes by her door. She left without a single thank you or goodbye. Later, I spotted her at a wedding. She smiled like nothing had happened. I walked past without a word. That final semester showed her true colors, loud, sharp, and impossible to forget. From the first week of sophomore year, our third roommate never left his room. His door stayed shut, but a weird smell leaked under the frame. Whenever he did appear, it was during dinner, dressed only in old boxers, just long enough to grab a stick of butter from the fridge. He'd shuffle back down the hall, clutching it like a treasure. Later I learned he was spreading the butter on acorns he'd collect outside. The odd snack didn't sit well with him. Each morning the bathroom looked like a storm had hit, and he'd never cleaned up. We'd ask him at least to air out the place. He stared, said nothing, and closed his door again. Winter break arrives, campus emptied, and so did his room, without warning. On the kitchen table, we found a note, letters cut from magazines like some old ransom scene. Moving out, joining the army. Last rent hidden Indiana Jones style. Rent hidden Indiana Jones style? We searched the house for weeks, nothing. Spring came, we took down the Christmas tree, and a sealed envelope fluttered out of the branches, his final payment. That should have been the end of it, but curiosity piled to us now, empty room. Inside, the carpets were stained red and smelled sour. Worse, the closet had small turtle shells stacked like trophies. We never proved he harmed them, yet none of us could imagine another reason they were there. The landlord demanded a deep clean, or eviction. We spent days scrubbing floors, repainting walls, and hauling out everything he left behind, paying more than the rent he'd hidden. Sometimes, late at night, I picture him in the barracks somewhere, doors still shut, butter in hand, collecting new secrets, and I wonder what else we might have found if we'd opened the doors sooner.